Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here from Droid Life, and today we are taking a look at the all-new HTC One A9. This is HTC's new sort of mid-range, high-end smart device. And the reason I say mid-range, high-end is because while the internal specs of the device may sort of yell out, hey, I'm mid-range, the overall look and feel of the device is actually quite high-end. It feels and yes, it sort of looks like an iPhone. Not that that's a bad thing. I actually like the look and the feel of the iPhone. So now that there is an Android device that looks quite similar to one in design, I think that's a good thing. But so this is going to be our sort of initial hands-on, and it's going to go up alongside a first impressions post. But I just wanted to give you guys a tour of the hardware and just a quick look at the software. Can't dive too much into it, but so here it is, 1A9. This is the white model, as you can see. It does feature a 5-inch full HD 1080p front-facing display. Has Corning's Gorilla Glass 4 on the outside, so it should be pretty tough. If no scratches or anything like that, it should be good. So that's the display. On the bottom side here, on the left side, you have a single speaker. It does not have boom sound, although you can get boom sound if you attach some headphones to the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack right here. And then right in the middle of the speaker and the headphone jack, you have micro USB. So it's not Type C or anything like that. It is just your standard micro USB that every other Android device pretty much has, except for the new Nexus devices and the OnePlus 2. On the front side down here on the bottom, it has a fingerprint reader, which is quite good because the phone does have NFC. It comes running Android 6.0 Marshmallow, and it does have Android Pay. So instead of having do a pin or a pattern, you can just hold down your thumb there. It will unlock the device. You can do your mobile payment solutions and all that fun stuff. On the back side here, you have a 13 megapixel camera right there in the front center with sapphire cover lens, has autofocus, BSI sensor, and OIS, and it shoots 1080p, so no 4K video recording. And then on the front side, you have the HTC Ultra Pixel fixed focus camera right there, and that also features 1080p video recording. Other specs includes Snapdragon 617 octa-core processor. In the US, we get 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage. International models have 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of storage. One thing that is quite nice about the 1A9 is on the left side here, you got your sort of port or slot right here for your SIM card if it's a nano SIM, but up on top it has micro SD for expandable storage. So, if you're worried about the 32 gigs running out, don't worry. You do have SD card, and no iPhone has an SD card, and even a lot of top Android flagships are shipping with no SD card storage. So the fact that this has it is pretty good. For the price, the phone costs $399 off contract, unlocked. So definitely a plus there. It features Bluetooth, 4.1, Wi-Fi, of course, all your sort of standard stuff. But as I mentioned, it does come running Android 6.0. This is the first phone to launch with Android 6.0 that isn't a Nexus device. So pretty impressive there. We're going to dive a little bit into the software, just a little bit. Can't get too heavy into it. But I can show you what the fingerprint sensor can do. So while the display is turned off, and this is just like the Nexus devices, if you put your thumb on the fingerprint reader, it'll instantly unlock the device, which is super nice little feature. We can dive down here into the settings menu, and as I should say, Sense UI does come running on the device, but it's been quite minimalized. As you can see, the system toggle UI is the same as you would find on a vanilla Android device, which in my opinion is a great touch. So going down into settings, so as you can definitely see, this is all Sense. Definitely not your stock vanilla Android look, but that's quite alright. We're used to skins. So go into About, and then Software Information. You can see it's running Android version 6.0. Unfortunately, HTC, in all of its wisdom, decided to remove the ability to access the Easter egg, which is basically a little Flappy Bird clone or whatever. It was the same in Lollipop, except now it has little marshmallows on sticks or something. So that's sort of a bummer, but this is your basic UI, pretty much what we've seen on additional HTC devices. Definitely since the custom launcher that they're using here. Unfortunately, if you swipe to the right, you don't get Google Now. It's definitely not the Google Experience launcher, Google Now launcher. If you swipe to the right, you get Blink Feed. So you can definitely disable that, but if you pinch in, you can access all of your widgets, the different pages. You can set a different one as a default, add new pages, etc., etc. Basically, what we've seen from HTC devices in the past. I will say that it has the HTC logo there on the bottom and with the fingerprint reader, and so it leaves all this space. I've actually found myself, after playing with the phone for a day, I found myself pressing this area, like kind of like on a Samsung device or a OnePlus 2, trying to use like the back or the multitasking button, but they're not there. They're on-screen buttons. So while it's great that there are on-screen buttons, having this huge gap, this bezel here, with no use of it, seems sort of silly. Not that it's terrible, but it's definitely a noticeable little area down here on the bottom of the device. But so that's all I can do as of right now. This is the HTC One A9. Definitely, I gotta say, it's a sexy little device. It feels good, very metallic feel. Feels good in hand. It feels a lot like an iPhone. If I had an iPhone here, I would just hold it up and you'd probably see the similarities quite quickly. But so that's 1A9. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below and I can get to them. But until then, yeah, be on the lookout for our full review coming soon. So until then, we're Droid Life. Peace.